Hello, my name is Demi, and I'm doing my cultural artifact speech. Can you guys turn to the person next to you and tell them they're amazing? Right here? You're amazing. A lot of you guys are asking why if I don't even know them, right? Well, how is it that we find it easy to criticize people without knowing them in the blink of an eye? And complimenting someone is so hard for us to do, right? My cultural artifact is the Bible because it represents it challenges me to grow as a person with a better character, to view others the same as me and not think that I'm better than anybody, because everybody should be seen as an equal person. As I grew up in a Catholic religion, but as I grew older, within the Catholic religion, I never really put much emphasis on the Bible. I didn't even know what it represented. I would just go to church and sit there and listen to whatever they were talking about. But I never really placed much importance on the Bible itself and what it really represents until high school, when I got asked to study the Bible with somebody. And I was like, study the Bible? Why would I want to study the Bible? I'm not going to be a priest. So then the first point, first thing I'm going to talk about is the meaning and the representation of the Bible in Christianity. And secondly, I will identify myself with the Bible and why it means a lot to me. What it represents and the meaning. The meaning of the Bible to Christianity is more like a roadmap, kind of like guidelines, kind of like the roadmap to get here when we choose a major. It tells you what you have to do to get to where you want to be. The same with the Bible. It kind of guides you to becoming a better person. It helps you grow in character. Studying it makes you see life in a different way. Again, like I said earlier, you view others the same as you. You don't feel like you're better than anybody. Kind of like, it also teaches you how to deal with certain aspects of your life. So kind of like, for example, a betrayal. Let's say a best friend betrayed you after 10 years of a friendship that you maintained with them. They betray you for whatever reason. I don't know, they dated your girlfriend, or they dated your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend, and you feel betrayed by them. And what the Bible teaches you is that do not hold a grudge against a person because they hurt you. Yeah, it's disappointing. Yeah, it's painful. It gets you angry. But the fact that it's teaching you to forgive them, that's the only way you'll be able to move on with your life and still be their friend, by forgiving them. I just explained the representation and the meaning of the Bible in Christianity. Now I'm going to talk about how I identify myself with it. I decided to learn about the Bible and study it in high school. When I was a freshman, somebody asked me if I wanted to study the Bible. I said sure. I showed up to class. So they were reading scriptures to me, scriptures I never heard before. I never really understood. But once they sat down and they explained to me what each meant, then that's where I started gaining knowledge about what the Bible really means and what it's for. It brings out the best in you. Every time I read it and I read a certain scripture, whatever it is, it brings out the other half that you never thought you even had. How I realized my identity with it was when I started feeling uncomfortable doing things that I used to do. So kind of like I started being humble. You have to fight against being humble. So like one of the scriptures says, if an enemy slaps you on one side of the cheek, you put the other cheek and let them slap you. So what this means is that it's not literally letting them beat you up if they're beating you up, but humble yourself down, and if they're talking bad to you, not go to their level and also talk back to them, because it's not going to solve anything. The fact of you walking away or just listening to them when they're angry is the best way to resolve it. So once I started feeling uncomfortable about certain things around my friends or anything, that's when I started realizing, okay, so this is not okay to do. now that I've talked about what the Bible represents in Christianity and how I identify myself, I hope you have a better understanding of the meaning of the Bible and Christianity. First, I talked about what the Bible represents in Christianity and how I identified myself with it and why. Scriptures like 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Scriptures like these are the reason why the Bible means a lot to me, and I use it at a daily basis, so that I can use whatever I read there for that day, and so I could become a better person, not only for myself but for others around me. And that's it.